Kind of sticking with the efforts on mitigation, spruce bark beetle is back in Alaska, and they're on steroids this time. When they were up in the state about 15 years ago, really decimated so many parts of the Kenai Peninsula, and now they have moved northward into south central. We've got about 1 million acres that have been infested in the Mat-Su Valley and down on the Kenai Peninsula. And we've had 2 very, very popular campgrounds that have been completely closed before they were even opened because of what we're seeing with the beetle kill. I understand that the next round of monitoring flyovers in July are expected to increase the assessed, what we have assessed that has been damaged and destroyed already. So we talk about ways that we're going to be preventing fire, and one of the problems with this beetle kill is that it destroys the health of the tree and just makes them more vulnerable to these fires when they come through. And yet the budget proposes a 25% cut to the Forest Service Western Bark Beetle Initiative. So I'm asking the same question that I did before. Is this a smart reductions? We don't have any projects in Alaska under the 2014 Farm Bill Insect and Disease Area Authority. I don't understand why. I just don't see how cuts to these types of programs, where this is not just in Alaska. We'll hear it in Montana and Colorado and other parts around the West, where the spruce bark beetle or different iterations of these insects are causing extensive damage. So can you speak to me about what it is that we are doing within Forest Service to make sure that we've got adequate resources there to provide for more robust tree removal, fuel breaks, and also including the community wildfire protection plans?
Thank you, Senator. First, I'll definitely reinforce how you described the situation with the spruce beetle in the Mat-Su and on the Kenai. It's accelerated extensively over the last 3 years. I'm pleased to say, and it's primarily on private lands, and I'll get back to the funding in here in a minute. But that our mission is to help sustain the nation's forests and grasslands, and we do that with and through other folks.
Those private lands are right next to your lands.
They're right next to our lands, but
the bugs don't care.
And just like fire, the boundaries are they don't respect boundaries. So what we were able to do immediately was we were able to we found $2 million in our state and private funds, in addition to the Western Bark Beetle funds, to put into Alaska, because this is a all-out effort, collaborative, that we're working on together. We signed a new Good Neighbor Agreement with the Chugach, so we can do some cross-boundary work, and the Alaska Department of Natural Resources, Parks, and Forestry are all being proactive instead of waiting for the disastrous fire and the damaging windfall to people and structures. We're investing in the critical work that needs to be done to do fuel breaks and to take out the hazardous trees. On the research and development side, this is the other piece that the Forest Service helps provide. There's a couple trials of treatments. It's systemic insecticides and an anti-aggregate pheromones. Now, I don't know a lot about those yet, but we're doing some trials up there to see if there's some ways we can naturally help, get it back at
Are those sprayed, or how do you apply that?
I can get back to you on that. I don't have full understanding of them. The pheromones are not, and the insecticides I'm not sure about. So
if you can have somebody just
we'll
let us
get
know
you
what
more
it is we're talking
information.
about.
But anyway, our researchers are up there because we're looking about, you know, how to keep the bug, they're natural beetles, of course, but how to keep them in balance. In respect to the funding, you know, we have 2 line items with forest health. It's forest health on the national forest system and forest health cooperative, meaning for all lands. We treat them as a bundle because fires know no boundaries, but the cooperative forest health is to invest and leverage with the state funds so that we can, again, address a landscape scale problem. Unfortunately, I've said it before, we had to make some tough choices and trade-offs, so the cooperative forest health was reduced, not because we don't recognize there's a problem, but we had to make some tough choices. And we will always be as effective as we can with our investments, leveraging really good partnerships. And I think there's some good ones in Alaska.
Well, you know that for us, it's not a situation of if we want to partner. We know we have to. But again, as I think of those ways that we can help the federal government save money, the more we can put into the upfront and the prevention end of it, and I think every one of my colleagues on this committee would agree that those are monies that are well spent.